Gaara HIDEN, a Sandstorm Mirage. Today's novel is one of the last that we're going to cover ever, because from here there are no official translations. So, good luck, unless you're Japanese, German, or have Tumblr, then we can thank Kankuro for her perfect translation of Gaara HIDEN Sandstorm Mirage. Let's get started! Our story takes place 3 months after Naruto and Hinata's wedding, where Gaara faces his greatest battle yet, against a mountain of paperwork. I'm meant to be Gaara of the sand, not Gaara of the shorthand. And oh boy, Gaara does have a sweat gland and a sore hand, because his homeland, the sand, is incredibly poor. The daimyo will not give funding. The Sand Village have actually enforced an arms trade ban, which is great for the peace of tomorrow and bad for the shinobi of today. Characters are slowly starting to realise the daimyo system they live in is outdated and awful. A new generation of sand ninja have emerged, all working under Kankuro. And these chunin, they are unsatisfied. Looks like this Kage needs some sake. Tamari comes in and wants to talk about boys. She's getting married to Shikamaru Nara next month. And remember, the Sand siblings are essentially royalty, and the act of one of them marrying and moving into a Konoha clan is huge. But after Naruto and Hinata's wedding, it seems like everyone is getting loved up. Even Gaara. This novel plays like a rom-com. I laughed when I realised the route this novel was going, like, really? Really? This guy? Okay. Psychotic monsters with no eyebrows. They deserve love too. The village elders, Ebizo and Tuzuru, bring in Gaara. Listen, bud, we love the work you've done round here. Saving the village from nuke. Ah, classic. You're a handsome man. 20 is a fine age to settle down and take a wife. They're getting Gaara hitched. Guys, Gaara very clearly only has one true love in his life. But since he's already taken, he accepts the terms for an arranged marriage. Gaara treats it like any other mission. Ooh, cold. It's all about lineage in the Naruto-verse, you can't blame him. Tamari embraces an feminine side that we never got to see in Shippuden, and loves preparing him in etiquette and training him into talking to women. It's adorable. This part of the novel was essentially a rom-com. But Sam, I want anime battles. Ha! We're getting there. Meanwhile, Kankuro and his band of chunin battle a raging giant. In the midst of a sandstorm stands a giant iron-style golem. It's impossible. We'll never break through it. Hey, hold your stations. No, we need to strike now. A muggy, Kankuro's student, runs up and almost gets himself killed. Kankuro is actually now the head of an anti-terror division. And using his puppet, he does a little switcheroo and takes out a man covering himself in a giant iron-style jutsu. Now this was really exciting. I was just waiting for the reveal that this was Shinki, and that reveal never comes. No, it's just some random terror guy. Some nobody crime boy. In fact, oddly enough, Shinki never comes up in this novel, which is fucking bizarre. Elsewhere, Gaara finds himself in the Land of Wind's finest hotel. There's wealth, there's alcohol, there's baki. It's a whole world that Gaara doesn't know, but he has to keep up appearances for his village. Gaara meets his bride. This is Hakuto, from the Hoki clan. The Hoki used to belong to Konoha before splitting up and going to the Sand. Like Hakuto, many of their family are medical ninja. And the conversation is dead. Gaara, where's that smooth talking? All we need is a big grand speech and the women will be falling at your feet. Gaara forgets everything that Tamari taught him and instead talks about cacti. Yep, cactuses. It's pretty bad, sure, but at least he isn't talking about Naruto Uzumaki like he does most of the time. But somehow, Hakuto is actually taken by it. Turns out she was just as nervous about today and is surprised that the Gaara of the Sand waterfall is actually such a dopey sweetheart. I think I'm surprised that you're so kind. Kind. Gaara had never heard anybody call him that before. When? Explosion in the far distance. All of Gaara's security go off to that, leaving him and Hakuto completely exposed. Good job, Baki! You fucked up! Luckily, Gaara isn't the kind of guy who really needs bodyguards in the first place. Absolute defense! Tamari, in a rare moment of weakness, is completely caught unawares by a puppeteer. whilst two men step out of the shadows, the Konjiki brothers from the Hidden Stone.
Yes, I've heard of you.
Oh, me and my brother are honoured to hear it. So boom, we have two battles. There's a lot of terror attacks in this romance novel. In fact, there's actually a lot of action in this novel in general. Do not go into it expecting a rom-com.
The brothers have access to huge environmental jutsu.
Tamari cannot grab a fan, and so pretends to beg for mercy. I might be a ninja, but I still know compassion. Now, Tamari unhesitatingly moved and dislocates her shoulder from the joint. Tamari grabs an explosive tag and blows herself up? Damn, Tamari, you metal as hell. Now then, wind style, flashing fireworks. Tamari throws free shuriken into the air and ricochets him down with a fan. This man is very obviously dead. Meanwhile, these new Konjiki brothers are insanely powerful. One of them has access to iron style and the other one lava style, meaning that between the two of them, they have a Kekai Tota.
These are high jonin. I'd be surprised if they were like Daedra's level.
The two of them are used for demolition. They're terrorists who actively blow up tankers and buildings.
You're a monsters.
We're all monsters, isn't that right, Gaara of the Bloody Sand?
Yes, that's what all ninja are.
This battle is pretty short-lived, but also pretty dope, with Gaara using the wolf cornering sand castle.
Which is a really silly name for a dope attack. Gaara traps the brothers and pummels them into the ground. This is when the two bust out an insane combo attack that they use for destroying buildings, and Gaara takes it. He's a tank!
But it's still not enough. We're more powerful than the Akatsuki, Meteoro says.
Suddenly, the younger brother is stabbed by a metal rod. Reinforcements have arrived. This is Shijima.
This glass lady is the bodyguard of Lady Hakuto. I am Shijima of the Hoki tribe, sister to Lady Hakuto. Face the power of my Hu Shuriken. Don't underestimate me, Etoro says. Using mere steel things like this? Shijima obliterates him, whilst Gaara crushes the other one in a sandy grip.
Funk coffin.
The body was gone without a trace. For Gaara, it was an everyday occurrence. Back he returns, not covered in a single drop of blood. I have bad news. It involves your brother Kankuro. Turns out Kankuro has become a figure of leadership. Masaru, one of his students, has been meeting with Tujuru, the elder. Tujuru is not a very nice man.
In his prime, he was a master of the sword and the martial arts.
He had jutsu, summonings, the praise of the village, but in his old age, he has none of that. He has all of Kankuro's students bowing to him, and he is jealous, resentful of their youth. It turns out that the dissatisfied people of Sand Village have started to favour Kankuro as the new Kage. Gaara is young. Gaara has been defeated before. Gaara is working towards the future of all the villages, not just the Sand, and so his authority is shaky.
You think Kankuro will overthrow me?
It's possible. Maybe the marriage meeting could have been a diversion to take you out of the village. But stop that thought, because Lady Hakuto has been kidnapped. She was the true target of the attack.
Oh shit, this can't be a public incident. Imagine if the tabloids got wind of this.
The Sand Village would be doomed.
I'll go get her back.
Gaara and Shijima run across the freezing desert, following foot tracks. When night falls, the village reaches terrifying low temperatures. The two of them camp out in some Kaguya-era ruins and drink tea under the stars. Kankuro returns to the gates of the Sand Village, where he is greeted by 20 of his understudy ninja, none of which were alive during the Fourth Shinobi War. These Chunin have never known life to be any different. They have no reason to be multicultural and so accepting of other villages, especially when all those kids are so much more wealthy. Amagi begs his master to join him on this revolution.
Led by Tujuru, they plan to peacefully remove Gaara from office.
Which is interesting. They have a manifesto and everything. Ugh. I understand.
We'll do it tonight. Yes! Kankuro looks over their plans. Their ideas are naive. They plan to restore the world to one of conflict and had no plan for surprise elements like Naruto's Amagi. Amagi, I'm in. Just one rule. We'd get through tonight without spilling one drop of blood. Is that understood?
In the morning, Gaara and Shijima enter some white ruins, a dazzling cemetery of sand, where they quickly discover Hokuto,
stood with a middle-aged man called Shigazane.
The plot thickens.
Shigazane of the Hoki tribe. I've heard of you also. The master of metal mining.
This older man has an ability passed down by the fourth Kazekage. By taking out metal crystals from the earth, he was an expert miner and mountain buster. But more importantly, this man possesses magnet style, a release that Gaara or his siblings never inherited. This just got personal.
You're a missing ninja. You'd be welcome back in the village. We could always use a man of your strength.
The small talk is sweet, but also short. The situation was clear. Water style. Shigazane is a water jutsu user. A column of underground water bursts out of the ground. Shigazane's moveset is a miner who uses his jutsu offensively. Huge blades shoot out of the geysers and straight towards Shijima. Gaara, rather than taking the natural advantage, saves Shijima and fends off more geysers of the water. After all, his sand does absorb water. Gaara's defense is absolute, but that doesn't mean a thing when you're standing in quicksand. Shigazane, you beast! He laid an elemental jutsu trap by mixing different chakra elements. That is dope. In the confusion, Shigazane and his hostage escape. Gaara and Shijima are submerged and wake up in a lower cavern, meaning Shigazane wasn't actually trying to kill them. Why did you save me? That was irrational.
It's never about rank. It's about the sanctity of a single life.
Then, let me show you something irrational.
Shijima shows Gaara a new visual jutsu. Turns out, Shijima was another Orochimaru test subject. Whilst Orochimaru masqueraded as Raza, he used the Sand's resources and ninja as test subjects to try and replicate the Sharingan. What Shijima has on her eyes is a failed Sharingan. But with the village's reputation at stake, Gaara and Shijima track the two to the country border. Hokuto and Shigazane are holding hands, staring at the sunset.
Oh, so that's how it is.
For half a second, Gaara considers leaving, turning a blind eye. But he can't, because that's not his nature. He is the Kazekage, and we all have roles to play.
Shigazane, I have no tolerance for missing ninja. I'm honored you know my name at all. I have no interest in your romantic affairs, but you are a wanted criminal. And I will stop you here.
It's a rematch, baby! They're not fighting over the girl. Hokuto's gonna run away after the wedding anyway. This is a battle between Gaara and the true inheritor of the magnet release. Shigazane blasts Gaara with every water-style jutsu he has. Attacks come rushing in as Gaara is completely coated by his trusty sand. From distance, the two masters stand at a neutral stalemate.
I should be able to put an end to this with some taijutsu up close.
The Earth Master cracks through Gaara's shield. And now that is an impressive feat. That is something Deidara, Sasuke, and Kimimaro all struggled to do. Luckily, Gaiden era Gaara is agile. If you've been following the anime, you would know he's been taught lessons by Shura, a martial arts master. Gaara can't depend on his sand and dodges to the left. But how did a basic water-style punch get through the sand? Well, by using the golden test technique, he mixed his water with calcium and volcanic rock. Meaning, Gaara's sand turned to concrete. Something that chakra cannot pass through. How? How can you be nimble enough to dodge all of my attacks?
It's Hokuto. Just look in her eyes. Something in them changes when you throw an attack. She genuinely believed I would die.
Good ninja must notice and analyze every aspect of the arena, and it turns out that Lady Hokuto does care deeply for Gaara as well. Gaara lays out sands so he can predict all the enemy's attacks. You can't dodge every attack. Shigazane goes ballistic. Damn. This jutsu, did my father come up with it to kill me?
Yes, that was my mission.
Gaara picks up the earth from beneath him. He raises a giant sword made of sand into the air. And finally, Gaara accesses his magnet release, the jutsu he inherited from his dad.
Gold Dust Blade!
As Gaara finally uses his mother's and father's jutsus in tandem, Shikazane is defeated. Please, just let him go. Hokuto begs.
I can't. We all have our roles to play.
Meanwhile, Tojiro's teenage rebellion has begun their invasion of the city and have taken control of the weapon workshop, the communications, and the lightning train. There is no way of getting out of the sand. A monkey stands with Kankuro, scared. Kankuro-sama, is this really what you want? You taught us that shinobi endure, but we're doing something that can never be undone. I knew you were a good kid. It's gonna be alright. Leave it to Gaara. Back in the prairie, Gaara is about to deliver the final blow when Shijima appears. She backstabs him and activates her fake Sharingan. She was in on it the whole time. Mental. I don't know if you guys have picked up on it, but I was almost definite that Shijima was going to be the true love interest of this novel. Nope. Complete twist. Lady Hokuto, Shikazane, and Shijima are all of the same clan.
Shijima, do you intend on dying for your sister? Is this really how today ends?
Yes, because that is my ninja way.
Yes. Then you should stay true to your ideals, just like he would.
Gaara uses all of his will to create a giant fist and forms a sand coffin around all of them.
This is goodbye.
Jesus Christ, Gaara. What? Turns out Gaara is a bit more cold-blooded than you'd think. Until a certain familiar face steps out of the shadows. God, looking out after you. You sand ninja, you always need help. Shikamaru has been tracking them this entire time. And when you reread the story, Shikamaru is actually hinted at many times throughout the book. Well, we better wrap this up.
No, my sand coffin doesn't leave a single trace. Not one bone.
Meanwhile, back in the Sand Village, Tujuru orders the Kankuro fan club to arrest Kankuro.
Exile him. We don't need him or any of the bloodline of their clan. It's time to return to the days of old. The new leader returns to his office and gives Maizuru new orders. When Maizuru crumbles and was a puppet the whole time. It's the ultimate Juru. Every time, Kankuro.
We have your confession all on tape. Tamari just defeated your forces of the Oasis. And I bet even now, Gaara is cleaning up. Guess you'd call this checkmate, huh? Times have changed. One day you too will know the sting of time's passing. One day new shinobi are gonna surpass you as well. Yeah? Well, I'm really looking forward to that.
It's finally over.
Come out, everyone. You're safe here.
My ally from the Leaf lured you here.
So now all that's left is for us to fake your deaths and think up a suitable alibi.
Shikazane killed Lady Kuto. You killed Shikazane in return and mourned for the lady's loss. Well, that'll be sufficient if we keep the story like that.
Your quick thinking through this has been very helpful, brother.
Gaara's sand coffin leaves no evidence or trace behind, meaning that to the world, Shikazane and Hakuto are now dead. The two of them go back to Konoha,
where Shikamaru can let them lead happy lives in the Nara clan.
Why would you do that for them?
Well, we all have our roles to play, don't we?
I commit myself fully to you. With no lady to serve, I want to be in your service for the rest of my time.
At the end of the day, the three siblings come together. Kankuro might be distant, and Tamari may be moving away to a different country. So the three of them lie back and remember their time together. It's a good thing Shikamaru's plan worked out perfectly.
Yes, Tujuru won't be bothering us again.
Oh man, after that fake coup, I just want to sleep.
You two never change, do you?
And there concludes Gaara HIDEN. This is the longest one of these I've made, because this book is so densely packed and filled with amazing details. It is amazingly written with actual twists. something that is actually quite rare for the Naruto series. But most of all, it didn't resolve Gaara's love life. This was an action novella through and through. This book tells us nothing about his future. This book tells us nothing about Shinki. Just a nice, self-contained side story. And I loved it.